This is a story of a late building from the 1800s that was a general store that had visits by General Perry and the Biddle Boys, who also terrorized the White Horse Hotel. Sometime before the year 2000, something went on that turned the place into a raging rampage. In the Bush or Clinton era, you could walk into a place of uncertainty and thoughtlessness. A place where you could have the greatest time and the worst time of your life all in the same day. A place not confined by rules, penalties, or logic, but a place of double standards, corruption, and no morals. This is Perrytowne.
Perrytowne.
The building has been around for almost a century, acting as a general store for Perryville, Pennsylvania. Many historic people have stopped in the building, such as General Perry and the Biddle brothers. Around the 1990s, two men with bar and restaurant dreams, two men invested in a property in the North Hills of Pittsburgh known as the Perrytowne Tavern. Food, spirits, and good times is the motto of the business, but something went wrong. Initially, business was booming. There were customers packed wall to wall, devouring every last fish sandwich and Reuben in sight. In all of Perrytowne's days open, there was never enough fish to go around. It was comparable to the oil and gas crisis in the mid-2000s. Money was falling into place like a waterfall. The poker machines now paid out to customers who won, and many employees ended up putting their entire week's paychecks through the machine, hoping for the next big hit. As the business boomed and boomed, the money seemed to disappear. The two men had a falling out, and the business was left to one of them, who ran it into the ground. If the drugs and alcohol problems weren't enough for the boss, he skipped out on payday and let management go down the tubes, as good employees left and were replaced by subpar workers. Everyone had a friend that worked at Perrytowne. Working there was like hanging out at home, but with chores. Sometimes easy as pie, sometimes unrealistic. Blasting metal music, hippie music, or punk and hip-hop, everyone was mildly happy working hard and hardly working. Some of the staff liked to sit at the closest table to the kitchen and just drink coffee and smoke. With management gone most of the time, who could really argue? Some of the food and specials put out were unbelievably tasty with a cold drink and good times. There were many good soups made from scratch with care. There was a lot of hard work put in at Perrytowne, especially during the night shift, where the amount of orders got a bit out of hand at times. It was really amazing how much food the little kitchen put out. There was always some kind of shyster special going on for a limited amount of hours every day. People were always going on field trips for various things, including grocery store, hauling trash, picking up employees, going to the corner store for candy, going to the ice cream shop, going to the drugstore for latex gloves, putting coupons on car windshields, and getting tools and supplies from the hardware store. Riding sheet trays down the steps was always a good way to pass time, as well as stealing exercise equipment from the neighbors. All the orders came in on time, and there was money to pay for the supplies. While management was not around, there was always new fun things to do.
Now you're recording? I don't know about my opinion of Perrytowne. I mean, I worked there for 2 years. That was like what? You son of a bitch.
With all this hard work, employees expected more out of management, nothing more than a reward for covering shifts and doing extra work to make up for some of the slackers. Since management did not spend wisely, this affected the order of food and how it was served. Fridays were a big day for receiving food and also putting it out for customers. There would be not enough money, so they would run a few cases short of fish, chicken, and wings, which in the long term ran the business into the ground. So, say they could get only 3 cases of wings on a Monday, run out by Friday, get the new order of wings at 4 p.m. on Friday, and be expected to pre-cook them before the rush at 5? They didn't think so. They weren't having that, and some people would walk right out the door and say, "See ya." So employees like the hippie would get so cracked out, they could make it in for their 9 a.m. shift until 2 p.m. The large cat-loving fellow who worked there from the beginning of Perrytowne's existence and would always come in late for any shift and demanded breakfast before he would work. This prompted many people to freak out and break things, as well as come in late or not at all, in retaliation for other people screwing them over. This obviously created a huge chain reaction of people screwing each other over for many years to come. At this point, help was beyond reach with the business. Empty of management, with workers running wild, doing drugs in the office, bathroom, and right in the kitchen, not to mention the constant drinking while working and leaving early on shifts when people did not feel like even working anymore. The owner even decided to start dating 18-year-old waitresses and barmaids. When he was close to 50, the liquor license was in his mother's name, which gave her the right to perch in front of the dining room and constantly smoke mini cigars and blow smoke around the area to flavoring customers' food. Things started going downhill even more. The equipment, such as the deep fryer, started falling apart and rusting. Lots of supplies were getting ruined and were going bad. The owner was always ducking about, trying to avoid confrontation as well as being a ghost. Waitresses would not even card youngsters, and one even died in a car accident, unfortunately, which included a lawsuit. People would mark items off on the prep list as if they completed them, but actually nothing was even done. Many items were even 86 due to the lack of money. The new head chef who got the position by default would always be leaving for any reason. Lots of people got trashed late at work and ended up sleeping in their cars. Messes were left everywhere for the next crew to clean up. Repeat offenders included hippies, Italians, and many dishwashers. The place was becoming so dirty you couldn't even see through the glass to the outside world. The large, lazy cat lover would often sponge bathe in his corner after a hot, long night's work. Many people would be too lazy to bust up cardboard, and it would sit for days, weeks even. The boss would date any girl. He would even go to a 50-cent show to pick up girls and get in their pants. Nearly every wall leaked nasty water from the floors above. Many people would just write in their hours. Whether or not they were correct, they didn't care. It didn't matter, and it was not even questioned. Many utensils would be missing and sometimes never even turn up. Many new rules were implemented by anyone and posted on the wall as graffiti and disgust.
Yeah, you know, it sucked. I pretty much wound up doing, all Guido's work, all his cleanup. And all the meanwhile, I, pretty much did everything for him because he was a dick. I fried shit and got yelled at by Guido because, Guido's the greatest human being that ever lived. I hate him. I know I had done coke before, but I remember one particular night going downstairs and, right in the office, at Keith's personal office, doing coke. Yeah. It's pretty funny. On his desk, no less. Cut up with his letter opener. Yeah, it was good times. And we stole that keg. That was pretty funny, too. A bunch of assholes.
I ain't picking that shit up.
That piece is nasty as hell.
Yeah, I'd like to order something for to go. So I got 4 fish sandwiches, 1 with American, 1 with Swiss, and 2 with cheddar. And I need 2 with cheddar, 1 with American, 1 with Swiss.
Where is Martini?
Oh, it's okay. I want one Swiss. It's hard. Yeah, I need 2 hot Dagwoods, 1 hot, 1 cold. Yeah. Moran. M-O-R-R-A-N. 412-734-3. Yup. Alright, thanks. Blake.
Basically everything was broken at one point in time from normal use or destructive rate.
The whole Perrytowne thing, it's a little old.
No one had any respect for anything, since management didn't either. Many objects have been broken in the basement due to rage from the stress of the kitchen. Vandalizing others' property was common, especially when people came in late or pulled a no-call or no-show. There was one time where a cooler broke and was left in the parking lot for weeks. When a worker was pissed from working by himself on the line all the time, he took it out on the cooler with mustard and broke various objects off the cooler. New holes showed up all the time in the walls, about every other day. Hey, there's a cook putting his various limbs through the hole in the bathroom door that someone made. People constantly wrote profanities on the wall about others. Older workers were upset that all the young kids blew them off because he made them do all the work. Many workers stole supplies in order to make up for the everyday stresses caused by being overworked and underpaid. You better believe that some people would turn off circuits in the box to mess with different crews in the kitchen. Paychecks would be issued 5 minutes after the bank across the street was closed, not to mention sometimes a whole day late. People even got so annoyed with the owner, they would do stuff like walk in the bar after their shift and drop cake in the middle of the floor. People even protested out front and warned customers of the unsanitary food and kitchen condition.
You're eating rats if you're eating at Perrytowne. If you are eating at Perrytowne, you are eating rats.
Their shit.
Rats equals Perrytowne. Perrytowne blows. They serve rats in their food.
Dildos.
Dildos too.
How long did you work there?
Where? What, Perrytowne?
Pull it out, dog.
Let me see it. I worked there for like 2 years of fucking most pointless 2 years of my entire life.
I want my check.
That's it. Running really far. Ready? Open up, go. Go, go.
Sucked. I hated it.
What about like weekday specials?
Bratwurst chili dogs? What?
Oh my god! You got something, right? Damn it! I need a drop!
I don't feel very vengeful. Ready?
Ready. Mr. Reed.
Let it out. Vent that shit.
Perrytowne sucks.
Yeah, you gotta start with P.
Self.
Are we ready? Hold on.
Lights out.
Hold on. All good. Alright, there we go. I get my transmission.
I did. I got pissed pushing around.
What was that? I said this is how a businessman wraps these fucking wing sauces so we don't get fucking shit in them in the middle of the night.
That's style right there.
Yeah, it is. That's the businessman one. This is how a businessman takes down a marinara. He just takes this fucking ladle and lays it for the person who works tomorrow. Like a businessman. Doesn't put this in a container.
Put it straight in there.
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Drug and alcohol abuse was a big problem, an everyday, all-day thing. Barely anyone showed up for their shift. No one was happy. The building was cold, rotted, and silent.
He was passed out. He was out like a light, dude. He just started pounding beer. Passed out at the bar.
Oh, shit!
About maybe 9 o'clock. By the carrier to his friend's party, obviously.
Perrytowne.
Many people were fired or quit near the end of the real Perrytowne days, and people left mad and unpaid. Eventually, Perrytowne was sold at a sheriff's sale for pennies due to the unpaid back taxes. It was a shame to see the place go down like it did. The new owners have not seen business like there once was in the old days.